moving on to my personal favourite, Overwatch, and we have John in our Basingstoke studios. So, for a grassroots esports tournament, we've seen some pretty incredible Overwatch plays. What do you make of it?
Thanks very much, Jess. Yeah, we've seen brilliant plays coming out across the board for all of these teams that have been participating in the Belong Arena Clash spring season. Some standout DPS players really bringing the heat. So I think from this point onwards, we're probably going to be looking towards the tanks and the supports to really bring us that high level of gameplay that we're expecting.
So, moving on to the actual playoffs this week, it seems like a pretty tough one to call.
Certainly is looking pretty close. Let's take a look at these matchups though. We got Manchester Swarm taking on the Colchester Centurions. Colchester Centurions, of course, last season's champions, so they have a lot to go up in this fight versus the Manchester team. I'm expecting quite a lot of players coming out from Howl Aloud, who we've been pegging this entire season as one of the strongest DPS in the tournament. Absolute demon in the skies on that Pharah, able to wreak so much havoc when given that space to operate. If they can get through, if they can allow him that space to move, they should be able to take it home. Depends on the map picks as well, because we've seen how impactful Colchester can be on Ilios. Manchester allow that through, could be curtains for them.
Thanks, John. So, we have Colchester Centurions versus the Manchester Swarm and Portsmouth Pirates versus the Humber Hunters. We'll be featuring highlights from both matches today, so let's go back to John Allen and get into our first matchup, Centurions versus Swarm.
Really strong, showing just why they're so feared here on Ilios. Kirk already in the backlines with a nice pulse bomb. We'll find the double kill onto both Stav and Silver. And that is going to be overtime ticking, tick, tick, tick. Boom! The Colchester Centurions take control of the point, and they are going to be able to take home the first round here on Ilios. The Howl Aloud's found a nice little flank, and even though you might be a hit scan there, Widowmaker, but if you're up and close and personal like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to deal with the rockets coming through. That's AoE, and that is a huge amount of damage going down onto the tanks as well. Rocket Barrage already popped. And once again, Howl Aloud, death from above, as they are just going to wipe the push. As overtime starts to tick away, there goes the D.Va onto the point, not even able to drop self-destruct sequence. They are pushing them straight on back, and Kirk will take the mech. There we go, D.Va taking out the Tracer, self-destruct sequence to zone. Overtime ticks down, and Centurions take game one. Let's take a look at play of the game. Will be Howl Aloud over on that Pharah, creating the space up high. You can see already early on, up onto that point, just dropping so much damage down on the point, and no one was able to deal with them. Pressuring up, trying once more to take the high ground. Defense matrix being activated. Howl Aloud rolling the damage on through, and that's the D.Va D-Mech already. They should be able to just pour the damage into the choke, and they do just that. Plenty of kills going through, with Doomfist able to just slam straight on down. Kirk trying his best to hold it, but will be shut down by the McCree yet again. A nice couple of headshots coming through. Will find the Mini D.Va as well. Manchester have a chance to get onto the point. Overtime ticking away, but they've zoned Colchester off the point. They have it completely in the palm of their hand. They need to keep it rolling through. They need to try and stagger the respawns. They could be contested here, but Howl Aloud down underneath. Only 3 HP left. Shouldn't be long for this world, and he is just going to be able to back off, but they aren't going to be able to get back to the point as Manchester take the first point. And they're starting to put some pressure on with the cart. They need to get as far as possible. Colchester Centurions, you can't give them any ground if you allow them to play up close. They will take everything they can get, but it looks like the Manchester team are going to be able to round one corner. Will they be able to find the second? I'm not so sure, as Colchester start to regroup. Howl Aloud has that rocket barrage available. They've got the Valkyrie as well, and leading the charge, it's Carry on the Winston. Will start to take the heat, and he will get the first kill. Rocket barrage as well. Will find plenty as the Void Boy at the back line will fall down. The res comes through, but it's not going to be enough as Kirk is doing so much work on the cart. Manchester getting stopped in their tracks right now as Kirk is not done just yet. He will take down Stav on that Mercy. Howl Aloud chimes in for one, for another as well, and that is Colchester Centurions holding it before the second point on Numbani. If they can zone Howl Aloud off of that high ground, they should be able to have a little bit of a chance moving forward. Pulse bomb available now for Kirk. Need to coordinate with the rest of the team. He will be zipping around the back. He gives his position away as Carry does jump on forwards, goes for the healing button. And I think Carry just jumped off the edge. Oh no, wait, it was in fact Howl Aloud to get the kill, but there's the pulse bomb. Rocket Barrage as well finds yet another as they are just wrecking straight through the Manchester squad. A couple of well-placed picks, and that's all it takes. Colchester capitalize, and they just tear straight on through for the first point. Pushing on through. Colchester able to get the self-destruct sequence, finds a second kill on top of it as well with a mini diva. Carry able to open up the space. Hyde trying his best to try and zone them off the point, but they're losing their players left and right. They can't sustain this for too much longer. Hyde will fall down, and now it's just a little Jamie left on the point. The mech will go down, and they push the card over the line. Colchester take the second game. They will be moving on to the finals.
Let's take a look at the second matchup. We've got the Portsmouth Pirates versus the Humber Hunters. Of course, Humber Hunters, very new to the scene. They are a new roster for this season. Unseen before, unknown quantities. The Portsmouth Pirates winning season 1. They've been in every season so far. I'm really excited to see how the Humber Hunters are going to try and deal with this, because of course, being so new, it's very difficult to know how they're going to play around that style, how they're going to try and elaborate on what they know they can get and what they know they can find in these fights. It's really going to be all on them. Whether they can take those grounds, they need to be aggressive, they need to be coordinated, and they need to be fast. They're wrapping around, they're going to try and push an assault onto this high ground position that is being held by the Portsmouth Pirates. They need to get through, they need to get that turret and move quickly. If they don't get through straight away, this is going to be shut down, and they are going to pull the trigger now. Flabberjack opening up with the Coalescence, that's going to force the Pirates off the high ground. They've managed to get through, they've managed to take down the turret. Now they need to capitalize, drop down onto the point and try and fight it down. And they're starting to rack up the kills. They've already taken down the Supercharger, but Semp with a beautiful double kill on the self-destruct sequence leaves Pegasus alive in the back lines, but that's not going to last very long. They're already able to go through, but Semp has done so much damage in the meantime that they have no one around them. The Reinhardt might be swinging his hammer, but you have so many nails to hit that you're just too confused, my friend. Padshak will close it down, and again, they're forced back. 46 seconds left. Again, they're going for the same route through the Humber Hunters, trying to assault onto the high ground. This time they've got Earth Shatter, which is going to be very difficult for them to get through. They need to take it, but there's the Diva from the back. We'll just push them down straight onto the point. They can't go for it. Now Molten Core's been popped. They have so much to deal with and no way to do so. They need to try and get up to that high ground, but there's no way they're getting through. Pegasus with that tactical visor just demolishing the DPS. There's no way that they can continue this. They've got 1 or 2 players left standing, but they're just getting demolished left and right, and this is all she wrote. The Pirates drop down, and they are going to be running away with a treasure on Numbani. They only need to get 33.5% of this capture gone down, and it is going to be off the mark straight away. Pegasus with the Widowmaker just bringing up the rear, trying to make sure they have the space to operate. Urulu on the Genji, already gone straight on in. He's taken very low, will actually get burst down, but already Pegasus and Carry Harry both finding picks. They've taken this high ground. This is the mobility I was talking about. They pushed on, they've got the ground, and they're turning it back down. I have 2 thumbs with the res, and they are just shredding straight through the Humber Hunters hold, and it is not going to go well for them. They've already got the point, and that should be it. That should be the game. Once again, the Portsmouth Pirates with a beautifully coordinated assault, able to take the first point and take the game. You can see they're regrouping now. They're starting to push through. They're taking the side. They want to go up the elevator, but there's a lovely hook onto the Reinhardt. That's going to completely disrupt the front line. Semp already getting the pick will mean that they can push on through. They have to regroup now. They have got a man disadvantage, but instead they're trying to keep the pressure up. They're trying to keep the ground that they gained, and they're trying to keep it through. But Carry Harry has other ideas. A couple of headshots dink onto the Zarya, and they will just get sent packing yet again. Try and get that Earth Shatter down as well. The Orisa shield has been taken down now. He's going to look for it, but it goes up just in time. It will be able to save them out. There's no damage from the Earth Shatter there, but they're going to charge on through anyway. They're trying to get it through. The Coalescence able to find one onto the turret, but that's not going to be enough. Pegasus able to drop the tactical visor, but they're just getting shredded down. They're keeping the pressure on. Here goes the ultimate from the Diva. Will not find anything, but it will create some space for them. They're pushing on through. Lucky able to take down the Roadhog, so a massive force in the form of Semp. It has been taken off the board, and there's a flurry of kills coming through, and instantly it's just Pegasus left alive. Tutu Rishi has done absolutely massive amounts of work for his team, and it looks like he's not just done yet. He is going to completely zone Pegasus out, along with the Moira on his team. They're going to send them back. They will take the second point. It's just Flabberjack left, trying to go for the tank, and they're starting to shred on through. Finally, the Pirates get their foot in, and finally they sort of slam the door shut as the Humber Hunters try their best, but it's going to be too little too late as the Graviton Surge comes through. The shutdowns come out. And even a Transcendence won't save you here. Give them a little bit of ground. Now they need to push on forward. You can see Reinhardt straight up in their faces. Will be giving them the maneuverability that they need. They're pushing on through, and Semp will capitalize. He's already almost got his ultimate available. He's going to fall back, heal, and pop the whole hog. It's going to be brute force all the way through as the Pirates roll it on out. And that's the first point in a devastating style. Looks like they're going to try and contest on this corner, and there we go. The Winston jumps out of the door. Will start them out. Urulu forced on back, but it's already the Earth Shatter from Carry Harry, followed up by a swift kill. Semp as well in the front lines. Will just start to zone them off, but Carry Harry is just devastating them from the front and leading by example as he swings his hammer to great success. The Portsmouth Pirates again take that second point. They will force the Humber Hunters back to their third point. They've got 4.5 minutes left to try and push it on through, and they're starting to go for a push. The Biotic Grenade will stop the healing going onto Roadhog, and there's the Nano Boost onto the Diva. They're starting to mount their contest on the point, on the corner, and they will start to come it on through. Urulu finding 2 picks, but Epicry will shut it down. They're going to be forced back off the point. They don't have the front line to contend with the aggression now coming out from the Humber Hunters. They will be pushed to the corner, and they will be pushed back to spawn as well. They're looking to try and push it on through. Self-destruct sequence won't find anything, and a beautiful Earth Shatter finds plenty as the kills start to rain through. Urulu is going to be doing so much damage to the players sprawled out on the floor, and they are just going to roll it on through, and up the hill they go. The Portsmouth Pirates charging on to victory. They take home map number 2, and they take home the game.
So we have our finalists, the grudge match to end all grudge matches, the Portsmouth Pirates versus the Colchester Centurions. Will the silverware go back to Portsmouth? So, John, what are your thoughts?
Looking ahead at the finals, honestly, I think Portsmouth, in my books, have a little bit of a better chance here. Urulu so strong on that Genji and those off-meta picks, really being a credit to his team. And of course the tank performance that I mentioned, very, very strong. Whereas Colchester really rely on being able to operate around Howl Aloud. If they can shut that down on the Portsmouth side with a hit scan, with a strong hit scan that we've seen from Pegasus, I think that they're really going to have their work cut out for them to try and adapt, to try and play around that. If Howl Aloud can be allowed that free reign, as I've said time and time again, he will just destroy your entire team. So Colchester do have a chance in that respect. And of course, if they get onto Ilios, the rest of the team is incredibly strong as well. We've seen some great support plays come through. We've seen some great tank plays come through. And I'm really excited to see how they stack up. Of course, Colchester, the defending champions, were able to take down Portsmouth last season. So it's really all to play for on the grand finals.